Goofy Fella Podcast. Damn it, it's a Goofy Fella show. Welcome. Today...
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
I didn't say welcome to you. I was saying welcome to the viewers. You have not... That's uncalled for. You have not been welcomed yet. Adam is back, everybody. Let's get a round of applause. I'm going to add a round of applause in post.
Why are they booing me off of the show now?
No, they're clapping and applauding. Adam is back. We are not together this time. We're doing more of a social distancing episode because we care. We're responsible about monkeypox, so we were afraid if we got together, we would start fucking each other. Yep. So at this distance, we're safe from our sexual temptations. Adam's back, as requested from most viewers. Everyone's like, please let Adam back. He's back.
I don't think that's true.
No, I read the comments. I read the comments every day. They were like, oh, fuck these other guests. We want Adam. He's back.
I don't know. I thought the two fellers you had on in episode 4 were pretty legit.
They are legit. The only unfortunate part is they're autistic. And so their opinions are a little bit skewed.
Abstract art or
No, it's more of like it's more it's more kind of like someone shitting on a canvas. And you've been like, oh, it's art. It's more like did you see that? You see that guy who like what did he do? He stapled a piece of bread to a wall or some shit. And they were like,
I think I did see something.
And they were like, oh my god, it's art. That's their art. David and Matt, their level of art is stapling a banana peel to a wall.
I mean, well, modern art's modern art, man. I mean, what can you say?
That's more like modern fart is their level of... No.
Oh, they weren't that bad.
They were good guests.
Yeah, they were.
Not as good as episode 3, of course. Everyone loved Adam. So Adam's back. We're gonna have a good... You're in...
I put in hours worth of labor at the county prison.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm interested in that.
I don't want to.
No,
at
too
all.
bad. That's a super interesting thing. I have this coworker who, he's this guy. He's a black fella, and his name's Mason. Actually, his name's Gary, but he thought for some reason, and when he started, he was like, yeah, no one else is named Gary, so I thought it's weird. I don't go by Gary. I go by my middle name, Mason. Turns out I work with like 3 Garys. So he was like, oh, this is weird. I've never heard anyone named Gary before. He's a cool guy. Mason's cool.
We used to have a coworker named Gary.
Did you? Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He showed up after we both left.
That's why I don't remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I came back, he was an older feller, must have been early 50s. Turned out he was a raging alcoholic, and
nice.
He got in a car accident one weekend. Left the scene of the accident, and
as you should.
They of course got their plates. Yeah, they got his plates, and when officers went to his house to see what was going on, in the report, the officer had stated that he was so intoxicated he couldn't even talk properly, which is just so hardcore.
That is badass. What a badass guy.
But because the company requires him to drive semi-trucks around the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
they kept an eye on his driver's license, and they said, oh, Oh, he got a DUI and didn't tell us? Fired.
Yeah, that's fair. They fired me for a sexual harassment thing, but that's not what I was talking about. Let's dive into the
No,
the
no.
Gary that I work with. His name, he goes by Mason, and Baseline, and he's probably listening. He's a viewer. Mason, you seem like a normal guy. That's how you put yourself off. You put yourself off as just this normal run of the mill fella, but you're actually very interesting, and I think you should accentuate that more. But you don't. I've had a lot of conversations with him. He's very cool. He's a young fella. He's younger than me, probably 22, maybe 20, 23. I don't know your age.
Oh, shit.
He's traveled the world, been to Japan, Korea, a lot of countries. I'm not going to name off all the countries because he's listening. Multiple countries. And the other day I drove him to the gas station after knowing him for a good month and a half, 2 months. We've had plenty of conversations. And I did an Obama impression. I was like, and, no, I'm not going to do the Obama impression. But he was like, yeah, actually, I met Obama. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I shook Obama's hand. I'm like, that's a very cool thing you need to share with people. He's like, yeah, and I met Trump. He's like, I didn't shake Trump's hand, but I'm like, as you shouldn't. Trump's a racist. But he was like, yeah, I did security detail. He was in the Marines, and so that's why he's traveled the country and met presidents. He's met Trump, met Obama, traveled the world, and he doesn't talk about it, which is very weird. If I've traveled...
No, I can kind of understand that.
Well, I haven't been in the military. So, background, Mr. Adam has been in the military. I haven't. So, I don't know. I tried to get in the military. But if it were me and I had met multiple presidents, traveled the world, I'd talk about it. That's what I'd introduce myself with. Hey, I'm Jake, a world traveler, met many presidents. Respect me.
Many presidents. They
Don't...
were all fantastic.
Don't... the presidents, they were great. They were the best.
I'm just telling you what they told me.
They told me I was badass. They told me. But Mr. Adam was involved in the political spectrum today. Would you like to speak on it any?
I am a little hesitant just because it is so fresh and I really haven't processed it all, but all I did was facilitate people to the machines that count their ballots. It honestly wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
We did have an individual that he was either 18 or 19, came in and cast his first ballot on his birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
First ballot.
First ballot.
Hopefully last.
Yeah.
Voting.
Maybe for a decade or two.
Voting.
At 8, you really don't know what the hell's going on.
No, you just circle.
You hear your parents rant and rave and bitch and moan, and you go, ooh.
What? So I didn't know early voting was going on. What is it for? The like governors and senators?
Yeah, it's midterm, if I understand properly. So it's going to be local officials at the county level, and then you'd have representatives in the state Congress, and then the federal Congress is split 50-50, so you vote for them during the presidential and some during the midterms.
Wow. That's boring as shit. Look.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't matter. And people say, like, voting for the president doesn't matter.
Well, it literally doesn't.
No. Or
What do you mean?
our votes. So, like, we'll vote for our senator and our governor and our...
Yeah, those ones matter.
It matters what we feel as though they're going to represent and how they're going to govern.
It matters because your vote directly counts towards that official making it an office or not making it. When you cast your vote for president, that's the popular vote, and it absolutely, well, in some states it does matter because they have legislation that states that the electoral college has to vote according to the popular vote.
Yeah.
But that's not every state. It's ultimately speaking the electoral college that determines who is president of the United States.
Are they voted in?
They are picked by the federal Congress.
So no. They're voted in by the Congress members that we vote in.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So you vote in a Congress member that you feel as though will represent your beliefs and your views. And
they create law.
Got you. So, like, I went to my grandparents' house and went swimming. I feel as though that matters more than me going to the midterms and voting.
And this is...
We had a fun time. We swam, went in the hot tub a little bit. I had Chick-fil-A on the way there. My daughter enjoyed that.
You know what? I've been craving Chick-fil-A this week.
It's very good. I do the spicy chicken.
The problem is it's a dedicated 20-minute drive for me one way.
No, that's wrong. That's objectively wrong.
It's objectively wrong.
I think that's the problem is they don't like gay people. That's the problem with it.
Serve goddamn chicken sandwich.
Yeah, don't eat their chicken because they hate gay people. No, it was very good. I got the spicy deluxe, and then I got buffalo sauce, and put that on my chicken sandwich to make it extra spicy. It was too spicy. I have heartburn now.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, would not suggest.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Huh.
But as far as current events, that's all I have going on. My life is so engulfed with working.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, eating a spicy chicken sandwich and going swimming is like it's more important.
Pinnacle of your week.
It's more important than
your life sucks so bad.
It's
I can't wait for it to be over.
Please.
The big sleep.
Yeah, all I did today was a new video game came out, which was a shooting war video game. It's called BattleBit.
That sounds terrible.
It's like have you heard of the video game Battlefront?
Like figures.
There's this video game called Battlefront. No, I'm sorry, Battlefield.
Battlefield Afghanistan?
They have one.
Trigger!
PTSD.
PTSD. Vietnam!
What's the song? Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son?
Is that what it's called? I always fuck it up. The song where it's, I don't know. I'll put it on in the post.
Is that the one where they just scream the N-word?
That's actually called Jake's favorite song.
Jake's favorite song.
But it's fun. It's Battlefield, except it's blocks, so it's like Minecraft and Battlefield. It's fun. It was like a beta version, so that's all I've done all day. I woke up about noon.
That sounds terrible.
Come on, man. I woke up about noon. I played that for 3 hours.
I'm over here participating in the democratic system, and you're just playing like 3-bit video games.
Man, it was at least 24-bit.
It was at least 24-bit. Like the first 5 minutes of this is like 800 times more data than the video game you played.
That's true. It was good though. And then after the server shut down and they were like, "Nah, we're done for this weekend." They said, "We'll see you next weekend."
What? They can do that now?
And yeah, it's a beta, so it's like
You paid for this?
no, it's free. I was testing
Oh,
it.
that's
It was,
well. I mean, at least that's cool.
yeah, me and a few friends we were testing it, and they were like, "Okay, we'll be back
So
next
you all
weekend."
looked up over the web.
Yeah. The game hasn't released yet. So
Okay, so that does sound pretty chill then.
but it was very fun. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. The game was over, and we're like, "Well, what the fuck are we gonna play for the next week?" That's the only game we've enjoyed for the past 4 years. That's all I've done. And then it was about 6 o'clock. My grandparents were like, "You want to come over and swim?" My daughter was like, "Yes, let's go swimming." So we went swimming, and
Emma knows how to swim.
she does. She did very good. Now she
Nice.
wears floaties. She did the floaty thing, but she was swimming around. I mean, she couldn't keep up with me. I was
Her
doing.
arms are up above her head, and her
Yeah,
nose is just barely poking up.
I was swimming laps, dude.
Nice.
Laps.
What size?
around her. It's decent. Probably like
That's not a unit of
Probably like-
measurement.
40. Probably like medium.
Medium.
Is that a better measurement for you? It was
I
probably
don't know. 400 holes.
probably 40 foot wide. Maybe 10 foot tall. I don't know.
That's almost as big as my house.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge.
It's a good sized pool. And then there's a hot tub, which has a waterfall that falls into the pool. My grandparents are doing well.
We had, quote, friends in high school that had one of those setups, and it was pretty bitchin'.
It is pretty cool. Yeah, because you.
I hope they're doing terrible now, the real mind.
I hope they've gone under. I hope they've foreclosed.
I hope the sister's a crack whore.
Yeah, I hope the IRS really fucked them over.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite
I hope
thing.
the younger brother was a fag and he gets AIDS.
And monkeypox.
Monkeypox and AIDS.
That's my least favorite thing.
I hope the older brother gets audited by the IRS and fucked for the next 30 years.
When someone's doing better than me, it just pisses me off, dude.
Well, you know,
Like our good friend Nigel. Let's talk about Nigel real quick.
no, Nigel isn't cocky about it. He's legitimately charming, and you understand from the moment you meet him. Oh, this guy's just gonna float through life.
He's gonna face no turmoil. Nah, he's just very unaware of how lucky his situation is.
I was talking to a coworker about his situation and explaining, yeah, so his father bought this house during the housing crisis, and
He bought it for like 18 pennies.
yeah, he's got a house that's worth like $250,000. He only has an $80,000 loan on.
Truck, car, Jeep, BMW. building a shed, boat.
I hate him, but he's just so fucking cool.
Yeah, I hate him. He's the worst. He visits every now and then. He's like, dude, I'm swamped. I had to train 4 people today. I'm like, how quickly we forget. Because when he was a mechanic, he was working with us. Like, the salesman would come in, and they'd be like, oh, we'd be over there pulling an engine out of an excavator. And the salesman would come over and be like, man, I am swamped right now. And, you know they're not doing shit. You know they're not doing anything. They woke up at like 10 o'clock that day, came into work just to bitch to us about how hard their life is. And Nigel and I would joke about it. And then Nigel shows up about 10 o'clock, and he'll be like, dude, I had to go over to Gainesville last weekend. It's like, that's not that bad. That's like a 2.5 hour drive.
And he got paid time and a half to do it.
He gets paid out the ass for it.
Oh, no.
Bastard. Oh, shit. How's life over at your shop, Adam? You liking it?
This week was kind of rough.
It's been hot.
They had
That's been my biggest gripe, is the heat.
Well, this week, as far as the heat goes, it wasn't as bad as the week before it.
Yeah. It's been more overcast.
It's been more overcast. It's been mid-high 80s. Dipping into the 90s on a couple of the days. But, no, I just started out the week with a wheel seal. Got it. And, of course, I inherited this job from somebody else.
Of course.
Go to pull everything apart. We don't have the proper socket for the spindle nut. So it's the exact same. It's a 6.3 5/8.
Okay.
3 months ago we had the socket. It's all of a sudden grown legs.
That's a large socket.
It is. Well, I mean, it's for a DriveX.
Yeah.
And it's a preloaded hub. Okay. The spindle nut has cast into it, torque to 500 foot-pounds.
Yeah. Don't need.
And I guess everybody else uses the next largest socket. And the problem is you've got a 1/4 inch of slop. It goes and tries to round off of the nut. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking beat up my back and knees because the company doesn't want to buy an $80 fucking tool. So every time I encounter this, I throw up my hands and say, yeah, I don't know, we don't have the fucking proper tools. Next job.
Yeah.
Apparently the manager's starting to get a little short about this. He's made some comments at meetings while I'm not there, and so I don't know. I might get my ass chewed about that. He was out all this week, so I might get my ass chewed out Monday.
What I always like to say is, I've got a big ass, and I can take a lot of chewing, and I've still got some ass left.
Yeah.
I don't really get my ass chewed out at this job. See, like, I'll do things.
Well, this boss is he doesn't like confrontation. He likes to do it behind your back.
Yeah.
But he never likes to come to your face. Hey, you fucking retard.
That's how I prefer.
You better get out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that truck stayed in the shop for 2 or 3 days before somebody on first shift decided that, well, I guess we need to get this truck out of here. And then,
did they do the wheel seal?
Supposedly they did.
Nice. They just used the bigger socket, rounded it out.
Yeah, rounded it out so it's useless for everything
Very
now.
good.
It's just scrap metal at this point.
So when it eventually fails in a week, you'll have to do it again with a rounded out bolt. Oh hell no! I'm not doing it. That's
yeah.
That's Adam's.
The pneumatic tools out, completely fuck the spindle, and go. I don't know. Now it needs an axle housing. No, but then somebody else diagnosed another wheel seal. I got it all torn apart. It was a preloaded hub. The spindle, the bearings were shot out on it. So it's all mounted in an aluminum hub.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to knock out outer races in an aluminum hub because you end up running the risk of damaging them.
Mm-hmm.
The manufacturer themselves says, if you run into this problem, order a preloaded hub.
Yeah.
So I ordered a preloaded hub, put it all back together. The next day I'm hearing noise that management was freaking out because I ordered an entire hub and all it needed was bearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's I don't know. Like when I was in your position at Ryder, it was management had never touched a truck in their whole life.
yeah.
And so that caused a lot of issues with me.
Apparently this manager was on the floor at some point in his life. But he's getting to that age. I want to say he's like 64.
Yeah, he should just die. And past the age of 50, your usefulness in society is done.
No, I mean he does act as a huge buffer between us and corporate. So I'm not going to say he's completely useless, but
yeah,
you can tell in just the way he manages himself that he's like, well, you know, the worst thing they can do is get rid of me. I've got all the money in the bank. Like I come here because I don't have any hobbies or life.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess his wife died like 4 years back, so he literally has nothing.
Well, I would say that's sad, but I'm married, so I know it's not. Let's dive into, if you don't mind, do you have any cool conspiracy theories you've been messing with lately? Have you heard of CERN?
I have heard of CERN.
Yeah, yes. The particle accelerator. They reopened recently.
Yeah.
Do you know its connection to the Mandela effect?
I have heard of this. I just... It's so much simpler to say that human beings are fucking retarded and misremember shit.
So
it doesn't need any more an explanation than that.
I had a coworker / buddy today who sent me an article. Now, the article is from the website Collective Spark XYZ. I'd never heard of this before, but it says the Mandela effect is real. Scientists confirm in a new study. Am I going to give any more information? No, because that would be technically fact-checking, and I am not interested in it. But the connection is between CERN's reopening and the Mandela effect, and the end of the world is also a connection in between. So in front of CERN, there is... Now, this is just objective fact. What it means, I don't know. But there is the... Hindu god, the destroyer of worlds. I forget what the Hindu god's name is, but there's a golden statue of the destroyer of worlds, which is a Hindu god, in front of CERN, which was donated by... Damn it, not fact-checking's hard. I think it was donated by one of those towel-head countries, because of CERN's help to them.
Oh, the Philippines.
No, it wasn't the Philippines. I think it was Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
Chicago. Those turban fuckers. Chicago.
Those goat fucking bastards.
Those goat fucking, women bashing fuck.
One of those countries donated this statue of the Destroyer of Worlds to CERN, and they felt the fact to put it in front of their facility. And right before the opening, they had a ritual, which was a mock human sacrifice ritual at the statue, where there was a nude ass woman.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat? America loves to eat. So why not open up somewhere America can sit down, enjoy a meal, and get their feet rubbed? We'll fry anything you want for $5.99. As long as it's friable or edible, we gonna make it deliciable. We will fry parts of the chicken you didn't even know was friable. The beak, the feathers, we'll fry candy bars. All that European stuff that you don't really normally eat, we'll bring it down here and fry it for you. Ask McDonald's to fry something other than what they normally fry. Guess what you're gonna get? Nothing. If it fit through the dough, I'll put it in the fryer. Hell, this is a dinosaur. All our meats are gently tenderized to their optimum deliciousness. We got fine dinosaur meats. Took my money, made me pay child support. Come on down here and get you a slice. Once they get your social security number, it's over. Motivated, 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 motivated. So friends, let's just decide you don't want no barbecue. Well, that's fine too. Why not let one of my foot specialists or myself perform our magic? Look at that, don't they look wonderful? If you really pay me enough, we'll massage your feet in any of these sauces also. Success is the rule down here at Jones. Good ass barbecue and foot massage. So go ahead and give me a call or find us on the worldwide internets at the new website. That's JONES, big ass truck rental and storage.com/Jones. Good ass barbecue and foot massage.html.
Excuse me, did you call number 52?
Did you hear me call number 52?
And we're back from commercial break. That was an accidental commercial break. Your boy accidentally bumped the space bar, which I have just learned is stop recording. I'm glad, actually, when I hit the space bar, I noticed I hit something, and I checked immediately. I went to the recording section. I'm like, I'm not recording anymore. I better look at that. So that was halfway break. Adam, I have an on-air question for you.
What you got, dog?
Your receiving puss endeavor you were looking for earlier. Were you?
Oh no!
Well, look, I offered for this.
Utterly failed, my man.
Failure?
I tried.
Dude.
Failure.
Look,
she got a fancy dress, and I was commenting about how nice it looked on her. Like I was pulling up the stops.
Okay.
And
nothing.
Nothing.
Look, for the past, how many years have I been married? 6? For the past 3 years or so, exact same situation. I'll try my heart out. And that's what I explained to her tonight, because when I was talking to you on the phone about coming over, and you were like, no, dude, I'm going to try and get some puss tonight. I was like, I explained to her later, I'm like, that's the turmoil that us men go through. It's should I put every bit of effort I have into trying to make the impossible happen, or should I do something that I want to do? And what you wanted to do was ride your motorcycle over here and us have a good ass time, record the podcast, drink beer, and just be badass.
No, that sounds so fucking sick.
Oh, it sounds badass. But instead, I'm gonna put all my effort into trying to save the world.
I don't understand.
Trying to kill Goliath and have sex with my significant other.
It's just so terrible. to be genetically predisposed to just stop everything to compilate.
Yeah.
It
It
so
is
fucking
very
bad.
aggravating. I watched a video today, and it was of this woman who got put on. Maybe it was like 4 days ago. I don't know. My comprehension of time is pretty rough because of the Mandela effect, which I'll continue back into in a second.
So on that same topic of just like losing time, I read a post recently about Lou Gehrig's disease.
Okay.
Um,
Which is very different from Lee Ferrick's disease.
Lee Gehrig's.
Lee Ferrickson disease, which is where you're a Viking and you try and conquer different countries. But continue about Lou Ferrickson. Is that what you said?
Lou Gehrig's
Yes.
disease.
Go ahead.
That's the one where your brain just kind of starts rotting away.
Okay, I have that. Whatever that is.
Well, that's what's so rad is you start reading in about the symptoms and it's like, oh my god, this is everything I've been complaining about for the past 4 years.
Well, that's just being
Completely incurable.
That's being a hypochondriac and just reading something about. Yep, that's what I got.
So I've also got that.
Yeah, my dad. You have Lee Ferrickson disease and hypochondriac. My dad has that.
Oh no.
My dad, he'll like any disease. Like when COVID happened, it was
I've got COVID.
It was
now.
a disaster.
I know it.
He battled between because my dad, he's in Alabama, and it's just like picture the most southern person you can think of, American Southern. That's my dad, and he battled between I 100% have COVID and COVID's not real. And it
conflict.
And it almost killed him. I'm gonna be honest.
Malady.
Because he's a hypochondriac who's also a COVID denier. And it's, I 100% have monkeypox, but I'm not gay.
There was a 20-minute blackout at the bar. I think I'm got monkeypox.
Dude, I don't know if I fucked him in the ass. I don't know. It was very funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because he was a hypochondriac, dude. He always 100%, like the entirety of my life, he had cancer. He always had cancer. I've got butthole cancer. I've got bone cancer. It's like, Dad, I think you just have heartburn. You need to get Tums. It's like, no, for sure, I have brain cancer this time. And then it's like,
get those spasms in your pecs that just really make you double over, like you're gonna die.
No, in my heart area, I do feel as though, and maybe that's part of my dad coming out of me, but I do. No, I don't know. I remember hearing story about when I was born having a heart thing and they had to go in and do something about it. But I'll have these things in my general heart area where it takes the breath out of me, and I'll double over and it'll be like and I'm just shitting my ass about my heart. But maybe that's not real. I feel like I've talked to someone and that's not real.
No, I get those as well. It gets to the point where you can't even take a full breath anymore because it
hurts
so much.
If I take a full breath, like halfway through the breath, it's like, oh, that's pain. That's pain in my chest area. Okay.
So I've had
so
those
I have
since
monkeypox.
13. A coworker just started complaining about that, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious because he's legitimately afraid that he's having like miniature heart attacks.
That's what I've thought for the past 25 years is I'm having small heart attacks, and I've always had this I've always had this fantasy of going to the doctor and him being like, yeah, you've had 1,000 heart attacks. How are you? How are you such a beast that you've survived this?
So my last physical that I had, the doctor starts asking me these questions, and there's, it's a new doctor because I just moved to this town, and
Yeah.
I don't have any of my fucking medical records, right? So he's starting out from scratch. I'm
Yeah.
in my, early 30s, and he starts asking these super generic questions. Do you ever have chest pains? And I go, oh yeah, like all the time.
What are you talking about? My chest's
What are you
killing me
talking about?
right now.
So he's like, okay, how often does it happen? And I go, I don't know, a couple of times every 3 months. He goes, when's the last time it's happened? I don't know, like
Right now.
2 months. Yeah. He goes, okay, well, I guess if you're not worried, I'm not worried. But we wrap up the appointment, and he goes, look, in all honesty, you're 30, your vitals seem fine. Yeah, you've got some things that you're complaining about, but you're probably good. Just don't pick up any more hobbies like cocaine. And without thinking, I just fired back. I said, nope, that's my retirement plan. And he did one of those things where it's like, did I just hear what I think I heard?
Yeah. Even though he was making a joke about it, the fact that you're making a joke, it's like, yeah, don't do that. Like, do you do this thing when you visit the doctor or someone, like a professional, you will underplay something very serious to them? Like, when I go to the dentist, I'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this tooth is falling out. Like, I have this back right tooth that's chipping away and falling out, and if I eat something sweet or cold, it's very painful. And I'll be like, yeah, this tooth kind of like feels like it's gonna fall out of my head whenever I eat something cold. And there's something about downplaying a severe problem to a doctor that I find very comedic. Like recently, and I spoke about it on the podcast. I spoke about it on, I think, episode 2 of the podcast, where I went to the doctor and I spoke to them about getting on antidepressants. And I probably didn't talk about that part, but I went there, I talked to them about antidepressants, and I told her, I said, it's one level under you Baker acting me.
No, you did.
I did, dude. I said, whatever's one level under you Baker acting me, that's where I'm at. And I found that to be very funny.
No, I've for a majority of my life, I've always downplayed any of my medical conditions, and it hasn't been until the past 4 years that I've really started to be like, I'm just gonna tell them the truth now.
No, I'm at the point. I'm at the point where
pre-COVID, I had a physical where, they go in and they ask you about these mental health issues, and they're like, do you ever feel depressed or blue? I go, yeah, I go through phases where I'm just depressed for no fucking reason. I mean, who doesn't? And you can see the confusion on I don't even think they're like RNs. I think they're just secretaries that are asking these questions and typing them into the laptop, and they go, do you want medication for that? I go, in pre-COVID, I was hard against taking those, but ever since COVID, I've been of the opinion that, dude, if I could get some Xannies, I'd fucking take those bitches.
They will not prescribe you that, but it was eye opening when I
Isn't
realized.
Isn't that an antidepressant?
No,
Depressant?
Zoloft.
No?
Zoloft's the number one antidepressant. That's what they prescribed me, was Zoloft. And they prescribed me a 25 milligram, which is nothing. And then she said, take half of it. She said, cut the pill in half and take half of it, which,
And you just
12
bottle of a week.
12.5 milligrams. But I'll be honest with you, the other day I took a full one because I was ready. You know, it was the end. I was ready to do it.
This is the end.
This is the end. I'm done. I was like, I may as well just take a full one. I took a full one, and the next day, I felt as though I didn't have any empathy for anything. So that's my big...
Oh, that sounds so sick.
It was so bad. And that's my main issue, is I have so much empathy. And, like, for anyone, and especially my family, I put myself in their situation and go down every single route of how I think they're feeling. And that's what fucks with my head so bad. It's like, I'll be like, I wonder how my aunt feels that I haven't called her in 3 weeks. I bet she thinks that I hate her.
I'm like 90% certain I'm a sociopath.
I did too, but until I finally realized I have too much sympathy. And it's like, I don't know. I don't care about average people, what they think, but if it comes down to my family and people that I hold dear to me, it's like, I wonder if they had a good lunch today. And it's like, oh, that's too much sympathy. I don't need to be worried about how their day was at work if it's my third cousin. Even though I care about them, you know, that's their situation.
Care about them in that third cousin way.
No, I care about them as if they were my wife. Which I don't
know. Yeah, that's probably...
That's too much sympathy. And sympathy and empathy are different, but it's like, I hope that they had a good lunch today. I hope my grandpa, didn't run into any turmoil today. It's like, I don't need to fucking worry about I have bills to worry about. I don't need to worry about that.
I don't know. The grandfather one I can kind of agree with, just because my grandfather was kind of instrumental in my life, but yeah, you're right. The aunt thing. I honestly don't think about my aunts.
But the opposite of that, and what I experienced the other day at work, where it was like, I woke up and my wife and my daughter were leaving for school, and it was like, I just want to go back to sleep. And then I got to work. I showed up. No, that day I slept in an hour late. I was supposed to be at work at 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm going back to sleep. I showed up to work at 8. I didn't care. I don't care if you guys are going through bad stuff. I ran through zero empathy or sympathy that day. And at a certain point, I was like, oh, this is weird. I feel as though it's because I took double the dosage of my medicine. And
no shit.
I did not like that. So I'm going to try and find a middle ground.
Yeah.
But first...
Take 3/4 of one.
3/4. Which is hard. First, I'm going to go back to the CERN conversation we were having.
CERN.
There may be one person who's waiting on that.
Catholic eulogy.
Okay.
N-word.
Okay. I'm liking this.
No. CERN, right?
CERN.
So
Catholic?
Empathy.
Empathy. RN.
Retarded N-words.
That's good. Yeah, that's what it is. Very good. No, they had this, and CERN, it's like the Catholic empathy retarded N-words is
N-words.
It's this facility. It's not easy to get into. Not just anyone and their mother can get into it. In front of us,
it is like a multi-billion-dollar tool.
They're very protective of this facility, and there's a statue, which is the Destroyer of Worlds, which I spoke about. In front of it, the day before, the reopening of CERN, which is a part... I haven't talked about it. CERN is a particle accelerator where they are testing they're colliding molecules together to kind of test their reactions together. So, kind of like a nuclear bomb type situation where they take one atom and they collide them together to see how they react.
Well, that's not how a nuclear bomb works.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a separation of one atom, but it's the
so an atomic bomb is nuclear fission, which is where you take
this a fusion of
heavy
two.
atoms. No. That's fusion. Fission is the opposite reaction. You're taking heavy atoms.
It's a book that deals with things that aren't real.
No, that's the Bible.
Come on, I don't you say that's fiction. But what you said is way funnier.
No. So, right off the bat, like, you completely misunderstand what CERN is.
Okay. Go ahead. You
CERN
speak on the
actual information.
Yeah, you speak on the real shit. I'll speak on the fake shit.
No, so CERN is you're taking two atoms and you are racing them around a massive track as fast as you can, which is fractions of the speed of light.
Yeah.
And then you eventually try to get them to impact themselves.
Okay.
And that collision at those speeds tears the atoms apart into subatomic matter. So not only do you break it apart at the nuclei, where you're dealing with individual protons and neutrons,
but also the mitochondrial level.
Yeah, the midi-chlorians from Star Wars.
Yeah.
The force is with you. No, you fucking idiot.
Come on, dude. Well, for one, I said mitochondria, which is a part of a cell, and
if you just change
I didn't say midichlorian.
Well, and that's why we know that.
Fuck you.
Go
ahead.
That's why we know that. That's why we know that George Lucas is.
That's why he married a black woman.
Well, that's why we know that he is. What is it when you have problems reading or reading backwards? That's
dyslexic.
Dyslexic.
Yeah.
Is because he read.
Because he married a black woman.
Midichlorian and interpreted it as midi-chlorian and said, "Oh, that's big one for my Star Wars."
That's probably what I have no chin.
No,
I have no chin.
That's
I should sell.
Do you think that he is
gay?
Do you think he has Down syndrome? Does that explain his neck?
Yeah, so the neck thing makes me think he has Down syndrome. But his storytelling makes me think he has some kind of cognizance. But just based
he's just a high functioning
no. There is no such thing. So they speak they speak of this. Nah, he's just gay.
He's just gay.
He has Down syndrome for sure. Asperger's even. So the only thing he's good at is making fictional movies. Everything else he's shit at. Keeping a company. Marrying.
That's like his height, though.
What?
Business deals.
Yeah. No.
What do you mean?
Star Wars was ran into the ground. So as far as a business, if he would
was ground by
no,
Disney.
No, but
That was
it was
hundreds of millions of dollars.
It was ground by his autism to make it a trilogy and make it. I'm only making 6 movies because it's the story of the Skywalkers and it's done. If you would have just continued to make movies, you could have made a 3 additional movie trilogy that was far better than anything Disney could have ever made. Because when Disney presented the movies to him and said,
someone with Down syndrome could have made a better Star Wars movie than Disney.
well, the thing is, the person who made the story, and this is a fact, I promise, the person who made the 7, 8, and 9 movies actually had Down syndrome. So the story,
J.J. Abrams?
yeah. So the story of Rey, J.J. Abrams actually is autistic.
I don't know that I believe that.
Okay, well, fact check it real quick.
I don't want to.
All right. Well, viewers, you can believe what you want. So CERN, you've told me a little bit of fact about CERN.
Catholic emphasis.
No, it was
the Catholic.
Catholics, especially
empathetic towards retarded N-words.
retarded in words. They had the statue of, which I've already gone over, the statue of the Destroyer of Worlds, but the day before release of CERN,
An orgy in
it wasn't an orgy. It was one naked woman, and then a bunch of other people in KKK outfits, and they sacrificed her.
So it's truly an international endeavor.
It is a one-world situation. And, I don't know. When they opened up that, there was a tunnel. They made this tunnel. It was a big tunnel. I don't know. They had a weird-ass intro thing for it, where this guy played the harmonica. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So it's a Western now?
It's a Western thing. It's all goes back to that guy for Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is actually in control.
Klan, sir.
He's a Klan guy in control of CERN.
He is Irish, so he would be a Catholic.
Yeah. He's
He
Catholic.
doesn't seem to be very empathetic towards retarded N-words.
No, and that's CERN's whole thing.
Which is why they kicked him out.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Figured it out.
Figured it out. No, I've heard these theories before, and it's just...
Have you heard the one where Justin Trudeau, the leader of Canada, is Fidel Castro's son?
No, now you're mixing up your conspiracy
Dude,
theories.
I promise to
I know
God.
more about conspiracy theories than you do.
This is the conspiracy theory I
Who's this
believe
related to,
I believe the most. And it is that Justin Trudeau, the president, and I'm doing air quotes here. What is it called in Canada?
Prime Minister.
Huh?
He's a Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau Jr., is Fidel Castro's son.
No, that's a theory that goes back to Ted Cruz.
No,
Which actually makes sense because Ted Cruz does look like he's...
Listen, Ted Cruz, that's a common misconception. Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer's son.
He can be both.
No, it can't be both. Fidel Castro is not the Zodiac Killer. Look, I'll allow a lot of crazy shit on this podcast, but I will not allow that Fidel Castro is the Zodiac Killer.
No. I'm not saying Fidel Castro is the Zodiac Killer. I'm saying that Ted Cruz is both the Zodiac Killer and Fidel Castro's son.
Okay, all right, I'll allow that. No, Justin Trudeau, and if you pull side-by-side pictures of Fidel Castro and Justin Trudeau at their age...
This is so retarded.
It's not retarded.
It is totally retarded. Justin Trudeau looks like... He looks like this stereotypical Slavic. Like, how can you claim he looks like Fidel Castro?
Dude.
He's the whitest man in Canada.
Fidel Castro fucked Justin Trudeau's mom.
Castro.
And this part of the podcast, this last 15-20 minutes, is just going to be pictures of Fidel Castro's... No, listen to me.
Just heavily Photoshop pictures.
It's not going to be Photoshop.
That make them look similar.
It's going to be pictures of Fidel Castro and Justin Trudeau's mother, who met. And there's pictures of them together. And then I'm going to also have pictures of Justin Trudeau and Fidel Castro at his age, right by side. That's a good
why
one.
Don't you do more? Why don't you do more conspiracy theories on
my normal YouTube?
No. The thumbnail for this channel, it looks like a artist rendering of Lenin.
That's actually true.
Yes.
Yeah. So the picture...
So why don't you do more conspiracies about 1914 Russia?
1914 Russia, based off of my random picture of a human being I've drawn.
Yeah.
Which has no connection to any person that's ever existed.
No, that looks like Comrade Lenin, sir.
It is. So,
good.
You know how shows will do an Easter egg at the beginning?
Did I just ruin your Easter egg?
It connects later on. Maybe, and I'm not saying yes or no, maybe later on we'll discover something about the goofy fella. Because that's the thing. If you're staring at this person who doesn't exist, and you're hearing all this racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic stuff, you're connecting it to that person. And it's his opinions. I want to make this very
someone
clear.
That's been dead for 100 years.
He may or may not exist. All the opinions that you and I and any other guest I have express, it's not our opinions. It's the goofy fella. He expresses those opinions. Me, I'm just a guy. You know, I just work. Take care of my family.
I'm just a poor boy from a poor family.
The goofy fella's the one who's fucked up. Yeah, I just do know what you guys do. I eat Hamburger Helper. Today I had Chick-fil-A. The goofy fella, he's real fucked. He's really fucked up.
Yeah.
And I've tried to talk him out of it, but he is the one. He's the one.
So wait a minute. This is what Alex Jones has claimed, is he's just doing a character.
It's a character.
And it didn't work out very well for him.
No, but
how is this going to be any different?
Because Alex Jones used himself as his entity. Infowars.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
So we are sovereign citizens then.
I'm just chilling.
We're not driving, we're traveling.
We are merely
Apparitions.
we're ventriloquist dummies. Expressing someone else's views with no...
That they forced us to say
it's
at gunpoint.
forced. Yeah, it's forced. I don't believe any of this. Do you know what? Do you know what I want, Adam?
You want $1 million.
I would.
You want to be wealthy enough where you never have to worry again.
So $1 million isn't enough. I want more.
10 million.
10
million.
10 million. I can retire. What do I want? I want to never have to work again.
Yeah.
Which hopefully you guys can help me get to that goal if you subscribe and you like and you hit that bell button. Share to all your friends.
There'll be the crowdfund set up in the next couple of weeks.
Maybe I can reach my goal of not working. And I want my wife to think I'm sexually attractive.
You and me both, brother.
Hey, a virtual high five.
Tied it all in.
We started with this, we'll end with it. I don't remember where we ended on CERN. They got some goofy stuff going.
Well, you were trying to take it into a bizarre place.
No, I'm not trying to get in a bizarre place. They took it to a bizarre place, so I'm trying to follow. Look, the fact of doing, even if it is a mock human ritual, human sacrifice ritual, that's weird. But I don't believe it was mock. I believe they actually murdered that woman. And that is a video you can find of CERN ritual. Look that up, and you can find the video of them murdering a woman. And then if you also search Justin Trudeau related to Fidel Castro, you can also find intel on that. That's not even...
Look up the CERN thing. I am not even going to try to look
dude.
Fidel Castro.
Look, don't look up the CERN thing. I don't care about that. Look up the Justin Trudeau thing, and then one episode we'll do just conspiracy theories.
French Canadian. There's no Latino in there at all, dude.
He got his mother's skin. But he got his father's face.
I call BS. Here and now.
That's fair. I'll put the pictures up. This is gonna be a lot of editing, and I'm gonna do the editing drunk, but
it won't even look good. Instead of Castro and Trudeau, it'll be Trudeau and a pig.
Trudeau and Barney.
Have you ever followed any laser pig shit?
Laser pig?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
No.
He does like World War I, World War II history breakdowns.
Adam, you're the only person I know who watches battle strategy videos.
By someone named Laser Pig.
Laser Pig. The other person you watch, they probably don't have a weird name, but it's just battle strategy.
Well, when I become Emperor of Mars, it'll really pay off.
We're getting attacked by Saturn. What we need to do is build a fort around their fort.
Bezos is coming, brother. Get the battleships out.
Bezos and all the fucking oil Saudi Arabia guys are on their way.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia teamed up with Bezos.
He's been trying to give me billions of dollars. I didn't listen to it. I'm a Saudi prince.
Get Elon out of the computer. We need his resources now.
He said there's a 70% chance he'll die on Mars.
I take everything he says with a grain of salt now.
We'll have an episode where it's just conspiracy theories, because I have a lot more. Look, the Justin Trudeau and Castro doesn't matter. Who cares? Anything that has to do with politics does not matter. We can get in.
To be completely open and in good faith, I'm going to completely disagree with you. Politics matters plenty.
Yeah, you went and participated in an early voting poll, so that makes sense. That shit does not matter. There are things if you want to give a shit, there's things that give a shit a lot more. And we'll dive into that in another podcast, and then we can also dive into Elon Musk on another podcast.
Yeah, that's an entire podcast worth.
Yeah, have you watched Mr. Beast's YouTube channel?
No.
Yeah, so that's another thing we can go into. But this one running over an hour already.
Is it really?
It has been, yeah. So
it doesn't feel like an hour.
It doesn't. No, this is gone pretty quick. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know if you want Adam back. Too bad if you don't. He's a regular. He's the co-host, even though he's not here all the time. Co-host. And
big brother.
What would Adam leave? What the comment for the podcast is?
Do what now?
The comment. We always have a topic the viewers should leave. So the first one was the beard comments. Second one was whatever the fuck it was. What should the comment topic be?
How do you most efficiently get pussy from your wife?
Oh, that's a good one. Please.
Yeah.
Please. For the love of God. Leave any input you have. How can we collect it?
I've tried back rubs. It just doesn't work.
No, back rubs don't work. Arm scratches don't work. Compliments don't work. Working 50 hours a week, not work. Supporting a family of 3 doesn't work. Please. Adam, it was a pleasure having you, sir.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do this next weekend.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.